Hey, I'm down in New Orleans at the World War II Museum. It's opened up a whole new complex here, and it's unbelievable. There were thousands of servicemen here today, and Tom Hanks was the executive producer of a large film about D-Day, the D-Day Museum. And we also had Tom Brokaw, who was the master of ceremonies, used to be on NBC with my daughter a good bit. We had a lengthy talk. So many wonderful celebrities, so many people down here, and veterans from all branches of the service. It was really an unbelievable program. Let me tell you what, if you come to New Orleans, you've got to go to the D-Day Museum and see this film that Tom Hanks produced about World War II. Unbelievable. It's not 3D, it's 4D. In your seats, when the airplanes fly over, your seat moves, it shakes. It's just a stunning job that the World War II Museum Group, the DDay Museum, as it's called here, has done. And it's a massive operation. They're talking about spending $300 million before this project is over here in New Orleans. A huge group of celebrities for the dedication. Our public officials like Governor Kathleen Blanco and Mary Landrieu, and so many officials were here. People from all over the country are here. I mentioned Tom Hanks, Tom Brokaw, just so many people that played a role in bringing this a reality. One thing it talks about, I'll tell you what I learned from watching this movie. I've read a lot about World War II, read a lot of the Stephen Ambrose books, and his kids were here. He's passed away now. His children were here talking about the books and talking about Ambrose. Here's what you learn. We don't know today about what sacrifice means. We don't make any sacrifice. We're at a war in Afghanistan and Iraq, skirmishes with Iran going all over the world. We don't know what sacrifice means in this country today. They really did. I don't know if you call them the greatest generation, but they certainly were the most dedicated generation that really believed in sacrificing for the country. We take things for granted. You know, how many people in your neighborhood fly the American flag? You don't see much of that anymore. How many do public service? Maybe you don't go in the military today, but you ought to volunteer for something. How many people do you know that actually volunteer in a number of projects in their communities? You learn in coming to the World War II Museum, the D-Day Museum, that we've got a lot to learn from these great heroes of the past. They were all here. Medal of Honor winners were here. So many veterans who were in their 90s came down to New Orleans to dedicate this new museum. So if you get a chance to come down, I'd really urge you to do so. It's right down in the heart of New Orleans, right down what they call the Warehouse District, right off the interstate. And it's open every day, 7 days a week. It's a great treat and certainly worth coming down. You'll see some veterans in back of me, some of these folks, as I say, in their 80s and 90s, who've received the Silver Cross, the Medal of Honor winners. These fellows and some ladies who threw themselves on hand grenades and just did so many things. They said, well, that's, you know, that was what we were supposed to do to protect our country and save our country. Again, the sacrifice we ought to talk about in our country today. So I wanted to tell you about it, how much I enjoyed being down here at the new theater and seeing this great motion picture and seeing all the wonderful history of what makes this such a stunning presentation. And thank goodness it's in New Orleans. It really shows you how far New Orleans could be as it comes about and brings about these changes. Hope you'll come down and take it in, and I'm glad to be here at the D-Day Museum today.